Hey, Impulse here, and today's video is 100% inspired by the completionist Why We Love Games. If you like this video, then I highly recommend you go check out his videos. Now, to get to the main point, why I make this video. 4 years ago, when I posted this video, my brother Brandon took his own life. He was suffering from a deep depression for a very long time that he never talked about, that was tipped over by the death of our father the year before. The reason why I tell you this is because his death greatly affected me, and I went through my own depression for a very long time because of it. I tell you that because it's important to express your feelings. It is important to tell people what you're going through. Never bottle it up. Never, ever do that. Your feelings matter. You matter. You are important. And if anyone is even considering taking their life, I will tell you now, don't. You are an amazing person, and you are doing amazing things every single day, and you don't even realize it. I wish my brother Brandon was here a lot, because I started Impulse Cody after he was gone, and I knew for a fact that he would love every single one of my videos. And I make these videos to help you people. To help you guys wake up and see, oh, here's a new Impulse video. It's going to bring me a laughter, and I hope I'm doing that for you guys. And I hope my brother Brandon would be proud of every single video that I make. And so, here's the reason why The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is my favorite game. The first thing that I can remember from Ocarina of Time is my brother Brandon showing me the box and all the little details that were on it, but the one thing that I remember the most is that when he told me that when you go to a ladder and you auto-climb it, when you go to a ledge and you're running off, you'll auto-jump it, that is like, that thing right there was the most amazing thing ever. Like, games didn't do that. You had to press a button in order to jump. You had to press a button in order to go up a ladder. The concept of a game doing that for me was just so mind-shattering that I had to play it immediately. And I don't remember exactly how my experience was when I first played it, but I do remember a lot of things that I did in it, like how every single time I came back from school, I made a goal that before I did my homework, I had to defeat 3 dungeons. It should have really been the other way around, but yeah, that's what I did. Or how in Kakariko Village, how I used to pretend that everyone in the village hated Red Tunic Link with the red shield and hover shoes because he would always go around sliding around, smashing everyone's pots, and everyone hated him. But they liked Blue Tunic Link, who had the iron boots on and the normal shield. They liked him because how he used to take their pots and move it around all the house to make it look better. And so every single the reason that they moved the pots back is because they always wanted him to come back over. And even though he had iron boots on, it took forever, he was still really determined to do all that. And how he got around the village was he used a long shot and like Spider-Man across all the rooftops. And I also really remember what really struck me was when I found out that Sheik was Zelda. That blew my mind, because the same exact year I saw Star Wars for the first time, and then I learned that Darth Vader was Luke's father, and for a long period in my life I didn't know what was real anymore, and I didn't know what I could believe, and and I was kind of traumatized, I could say. I was pretty traumatized. But the main point that I want to get to is that I believe that Legend of Zelda kind of shaped the person that I am today. Like, everything that I love can kind of be brought back to Ocarina of Time. Why I love customization so much in my video games, like how you had the green, red, and blue tunic, it kind of can directly correlate to why I love to change my outfits and RPGs and stuff. And speaking of RPGs, probably a reason why I started liking them a lot is because the first RPG that I ever played was like, I think Final Fantasy VIII. Yes, it was that one. How every single time you leveled up, the characters got more health, and I remember saying like, wow, I'm getting more health like how I do in Zelda whenever I defeat a boss, but I can defeat anyone to gain more health. This is really awesome. Or how, like, the whole Sheik plot twist made me want every single game to have such a good plot twist, and I'm always disappointed if a game doesn't have a plot twist. I know a game doesn't need that, but as a little Cody, I remember every single game had to have a plot twist, otherwise I hated it. Worst game ever. And the soundtrack, I remember so vividly, and I loved how the game kind of gave you something to play, the sound, like a soundtrack whenever you wanted to, and it really made me start to appreciate orchestral music, and I always pay attention now to a game's soundtrack whenever, because I feel like a game needs a good soundtrack to really immerse yourself into the world. The biggest thing, though, that I believe I took out of this game was, I remember when I was finally able to defeat the guidebook, Brandon actually let me use the strategy guide because he told me that I had to first defeat the game, then he would let me have the strategy guide, and I was always mad at him about that, but I understand why now, because the whole Sheik thing. But I remember looking through the guidebook, and I've always see these really big, expressive eyes, and those eyes always struck me. And when I was watching TV, I would try to find shows with those eyes, and I remember Toonami, how a lot of the shows that they were showing off had those eyes, like Outlaw Star, G Gundam, Sailor Moon, Tenchi Muyo. I remember all these characters had these big, expressive eyes, and I didn't know what this genre was, but I remember really, really loving it, and seeking out it all the time. Later in life, like by Twilight Princess, I learned that this is called anime, and I should love this. I can also kind of attribute the whole side questing to how I kind of see life, sorta, because a lot of the time, Link does the side quest not for the items I saw, but more because it's helping people. And I really did enjoy that. I remember when I gathered all the chickens for the one lady, I wasn't doing it because I knew that I was going to get a bottle out of it. I did it because she was so sad. She lost all her chickens. I had to help her. And seeing the smile on her face was the reward for me, and then I got a bottle out of it. That was awesome. And that kind of just taught me it's not the reward, it's more about the smile that you bring to someone, if that makes sense. I also I just remembered now that how my brother Kyle would harass me because I was doing my homework, and so he would go behind me on my save profiles like, hey, Cody, look at this, I'm gonna defeat the dungeon faster than you did, and since the dungeon was already defeated, all he did was just go to the boss level and then just be teleported and be like, haha, I beat the boss faster than you. He was like, no you didn't, and I was like, no you didn't, stop, I was the one who did all the hard work. But I remember him always mocking me, like, after I did my whole 3 dungeons for the day, he says, I would always go behind me and like, look Cody, I'm doing it faster than you. Kyle, if you're watching this now, I hate you and you are a dick. But just to wrap some things up, because I don't want this video to go on for like ages, because I could literally talk about every single soundtrack and every single character in the game, but I don't want to do that. I want you guys to write down below. I want to hear your guys' story about what this game did for you. But I will leave off with saying that, Brandon, thank you so much for showing me this game. It's done so much in my life, and I wish I could have told you how much how much it did for me. I love you, Brandon, and you will always be a part of my heart. Thank you so much.